From the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 137, I believe. Is that right?
One of those numbers. 137, 138, around there.
Anyway, I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my right is Scholar Tarek.
I will survive. For as long as I know how to love, I know I'd stay alive. I got all my life to live. I got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive. Because it's Survivor Series, baby! Woo!
Why, yes it is. To my left, Scholar Brian, what do you...
Maybe not the song that I would have picked, but the sentiment remains the same. It's an exciting weekend, one of the big four pay-per-views this year.
Yes, indeed.
One of the big four that the WWE actually might technically give a shit about.
Oh, I sure hope
Before
so.
we can continue on, yes, it may have been the most random song I could go with, but look who you're talking to. How many years have you known me to just pull out the most random shit out of my ass?
It's true. It's true.
Win.
Well, technically it did have Survivor in the title.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just
That's
roll
why
with it.
I went with it. So, woo!
Anyway, before we get into Survivor Series proper, it wouldn't be an episode of the Scholars Wrestling Show without a little bit of backstage news.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Peek behind those curtains. Check in on a little
Backstage news.
news.
Survivor Series, man!
Okay, that was the most subdued intro I've ever seen.
I'm just following in the footsteps of what's given to me.
Well, all the energy that I had went into that Survivor Series intro. Because, I will survive.
Hey.
I work off the energy of my coworker, of my co-host. And if his energy level is down, I will.
Well,
concur.
you know what? It's not because the energy level was down. It's something I've never done before when I did those introductions.
Exactly, and it's something we've never done before. So hey,
the creativity that happens on this show.
Yay!
Yes. Creativity. Yes.
Yeah, creativity. Yes.
Something that the WWE sometimes is in complete lack of.
Oh, trust me, we'll get to that tonight.
In a word, duh.
We'll get to that, but first we do have a bit of serious business to take care of, because apparently we got some sad news this week. Apparently, the man they call Vader is not doing well health-wise. According to a recent Twitter post, according to his doctors, he's got less than 2 years to live.
Did they specify what it was that he has?
Congestive heart failure.
Yes.
Okay.
Because of all his, because of his size and all of his rugged wrestling for all that many years.
Yeah. And probably drinking and that kind of deal that happened out on the road back in those days. And it's one thing that's the problem with big guys. Okay, it's all well and good for the amount of time that you have it, but your time is shorter than usual. So as much as it sucks to say it, I was waiting for the day that something like this was going to come out. I'm happy that he was able to get the diagnosis and be told that, hey, you have 2 years to live, instead of it coming out of nowhere with just a complete epic heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good that he knows and has time to put his affairs in order and get and make some arrangements.
Yeah.
There's already been a call by Mick Foley and others to induct Vader into the Hall of Fame this year.
Exactly.
I think
it's got to be this year, especially now.
I think he's going to be the first one announced.
I think it would be foolish, even if he's not the first one announced. I think it would be foolish if they didn't put him in now while they have the chance.
And I think they need to have Mick Foley
be the one to induct him?
The one to induct him because of the ear and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Because of their, history.
Because of their epic history.
I actually remember the time I actually saw Vader at just some indie show. Where I don't exactly remember off the top of my head. I just remember seeing him, and just after whatever match he had, it was pretty much a squash match because it's Vader. Duh. He was just bawling sweat. I'm just like, why is this? Well, it's understandable why he's still doing this, but my God, he just looked like he just simply couldn't take it. And this was just a couple of years ago. And as for, yes, I do agree with what you said, but I guess the only thing was, instead of getting the simple heart attack, I would be like, oh, well, he just gave out in his sleep or something like that. I don't know how I would have, but this is just me personally. I don't know how I would have taken. I don't know if I was like, I think it may be best if I don't know how much time I have left. But yes, there is the positive side, getting your arrangements in order and all that. But it's still just the scary fact of, you're laying in bed knowing you don't have that long to live.
Yeah, it's one of those 50-50 deals. Like,
yeah.
You don't want to know.
It's very depressing.
You don't want to know, but you kind of do at the same time for different reasons. Really,
Yeah.
because if you know, you're going to lie awake and think about it. If you don't know, you're going to be fine until you're going to be all right with everything until you go, but you also have time to get your arrangements in order and make any crossroads and any family or work disputes and that kind of deal. And so,
like you said, 50-50.
Yeah, and once again, with every big guy, you're gonna get stuff like this. So it's a big deal. The more weight you carry, the harder it is on the heart.
I was actually surprised with all what's going on, even like way beforehand, before we came to the point of no return. I thought Vader would be one of the people who would join DDP's yoga program, but that's just like in an alternate universe, pretty much.
Sometimes it is too late.
Yeah, but now it's too late, unfortunately. Well, no matter what, we're with us as wrestling fans. We're behind Vader. Hopefully, he gets into the Hall. He gets inducted this year, and what more else can we say?
Hopefully, he's able to come to peace with the time he has left.
We'll be with you every step of the way, cheering you on. Love you, Vader.
Vader time. It's your time. Your time. It's Vader time.
I love that theme music. I really do. It's one of my favorites of all time.
I'm actually glad I thought about doing that right before we moved on to the next topic. He's like, we had to at least do it. Time.
Anyway, now that all sad news is out of the way, let's talk about something a little bit lighter. Let's talk about The Rock being named People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive.
Took him long enough. I mean, he is the people's champ. I'm surprised it took this long for the people to realize how much of a sexy man he is.
Oh yeah, it's just so dreamy, you guys. I mean it.
Oh, don't be sarcastic on this. You really know he really is a good-looking dude.
Yeah, in all seriousness, he was like, "Yeah, I'm a little surprised this hasn't happened already."
Yeah, it's probably because of all the things he did last year, all the movies and stuff. So the more out there you are, the more people see you, the more they vote for you. And because he was so big in movies last year, he was Fast 7 made what, $1.3 billion worldwide.
He made oh my God, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, so it took a little while longer than a lot of people would have expected, but he was due for one of these.
Due.
And now he wants to run for president in 2020 because if Donald Trump can do it, anybody can do it.
If anybody can do it, it is definitely the people's champion.
Yes.
He is a man of the people.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how serious that actually is.
I doubt it's serious at all.
Ordinarily, I wouldn't think that, but after this past election, I would...
Anything goes at this point.
Yeah, for better or for worse. I don't think anything would shock me anymore.
We really... you know what? All right, come on. We're talking about The Rock. Let's not talk about the Don.
You really did that.
I won't call him President Trump until he actually, says gets sworn into office.
No, he will always be the Donald, okay?
The Donald.
He will always be the Donald.
The Don Donald.
That's it.
Oh boy.
But yeah, the Rock, sexiest man alive. Woohoo!
Damn right he is.
Damn right.
You're damn right he is.
Yeah, and
now he's gonna be a Disney character. He's gonna be a Disney character.
yeah.
Did the movie already come out, Mona?
I think
it's coming out like either next week. Or...
Actually, I think it is next week.
Yeah, I think it's next week because nothing's gonna come out this week because of Fantastic Beasts.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it came out this week or what.
Got a movie day to plan with all these movies coming out this month.
Yeah,
right?
really. We'll be in touch.
It's November.
Yes, indeedy. But anyway, that's it for this week's
Survivor Series. I will survive.
You will survive. And so will we, because this actually looks like a legitimately good-looking card right here.
The first time a WWE pay-per-view has been built to my satisfaction since SummerSlam.
But we all know how SummerSlam went.
Yes.
I am pulling that 50-50 card once again. Yes, it is a good-looking card. I'm not going to deny that. But like I just said, SummerSlam was a very good-looking card.
But there's also the fact that you have the Survivor Series matches. Those are always things to look forward to.
I'm actually really happy that they're actually doing the Survivor Series matches right. They're not just thrown together matches. I mean,
and I like the idea of Raw versus SmackDown. I like that they actually
as long as they don't bring back bragging rights. This event is bragging rights in my opinion.
This is what you should have as part of the brand split.
Yeah, I feel like Survivor Series from now on should be Team Raw versus Team SmackDown.
What I was saying before,
have titles on the line, maybe switch them back and forth throughout the shows.
When I was saying before, what I like about it is about this one compared to the past couple years is the fact that there's only really 2 matches and the rest are just Survivor Series matches. Before, they only build on maybe one big one and then another one that they just thrown together offhand, maybe the day of the event.
Probably going to be like a pre-show match or something.
Exactly. Because we all know that even like in 2010, Vince McMahon was actually thinking of dumping Survivor Series because it's a old concept that doesn't really work anymore. But it's just the simple fact of what you do with it to make it work.
Right
and
on.
What they've been doing. Oh, it's been an okay build-up, but the fact that they're actually building it up mainly for these Survivor Series matches and have only 2 real matches.
Yeah, I like it. I like the fact that none of the major titles. I hate to say that because the Intercontinental title's on the line, but
that's a major title. Yes, it is. Don't give me that look. Yes, it is.
No major title. None of the top 2 titles are on the line.
Thank you.
In the phrasing, yes. None of the top 2 titles are on the line, and as many people would hate that, I actually love it because it puts more emphasis on the Survivor Series match, which is the entire point of this pay-per-view.
Exactly.
So when you have something huge like Team Raw versus Team SmackDown for bragging rights, as you will, for the entire year, and if you don't have your champions on the team, then it's like, okay, why should I care?
Exactly.
Why should I really care? Now that the champions are on both teams, it's like, ooh, okay then.
But we're going to get to that. First, let's kick things off with a little bit of Tarek style here. Let's talk about The Miz versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title.
This is going to be a theme throughout the entire pay-per-view for me. Like, I don't... As much as I like that the matches themselves are Raw versus SmackDown, this event feels like it's more like Mick versus Stephanie. Because of the build-up. And I feel that's the way the storyline is going. There's going to be a power struggle on Raw. Mm-hmm. And this is just the beginning of it.
Well, that's always been the biggest problem with Raw that we and other wrestling shows have been talking about.
Yeah, but
when it comes to the authority
because
figures.
it seems that's the way it's going. I feel like anything that Stephanie put together, like she made the challenger Sami Zayn technically, okay, because she put him in the match against Rusev for the number one contender to become that. I feel like anything Stephanie does, she'll win. Anything Mick put together, he'll lose for this pay-per-view. So, Intercontinental titles coming to Raw. Sami Zayn wins. Especially with... It would have been harder for me to pick if Dolph Ziggler retained on SmackDown.
Yeah, I was gonna.
But with the Miz getting the title back, that puts Dolph Ziggler in line to screw him. Sami Zayn goes over to Raw. Maybe have a trade. Dolph Ziggler goes over to Raw. That kind of deal. But I think Sami Zayn wins the Intercontinental title, goes to Raw.
Yeah, I was gonna second Sami Zayn just because I think Sami Zayn has earned the title. I think it's time for him.
Oh yeah,
just as far as getting the title.
Yeah, I agree that he's earned it, but I also feel like storyline reasons.
Oh yeah, it all makes
Sami
sense.
Zayn's gonna
I
take
totally agree with you.
I'm actually I was actually going to second your sentence just before, Brian, about it was a harder choice when Dolph Ziggler was in the match. And I'm going to be perfectly honest. I love The Miz, but I was really looking forward to Dolph Ziggler versus Sami Zayn more.
Like, I feel this is still going to be the best wrestled match of the card.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's disappointing that we're not getting Dolph Ziggler versus Sami Zayn. But, I mean, the Miz's character himself, the character itself is must-see TV right now, at least on SmackDown. So him being in this match, it's fine, but it also puts the winner, no doubt in my mind, it's Sami Zayn.
Pretty much. I was actually expecting, because of the whole dirty victory, because of Maurice getting involved, I thought Daniel Bryan was going to put Dolph Ziggler in the match and make it a triple threat. Like a Raw guy and a SmackDown guy being the challengers, and then the middleman would be Miz. And when it was going with that storyline, I was actually going to suspect the Miz retain the title and just say he's going to go to Raw anyway because of his whole feud with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
But now since it's a singles match, the fact that it's still a singles match, to be clear, and the fact that the Miz won it in the first place, it actually solidified my choice to win this match even more clear. It's like that's it. The cement is dried, and as much as I hate to say it, for the reasons you guys are not for the reasons you guys are thinking, but I'm gonna pick Sami Zayn winning the Intercontinental Championship, and he's gonna take it to Raw. And the only reason I hate to say it is because I don't want. It's not that I don't want Sami Zayn as Intercontinental Champion. I agree with you, Jeff. I agree. Sami Zayn, he's one guy who deserves to have that belt. And especially with his feud with Kevin Owens, and if he still hold the belt, that's, like I said, the stepping stone for the bigger title, for the major title. It's just the fact, I don't want the Intercontinental Championship on Raw. Unless it merges with the United States Championship, I think the Intercontinental Championship will get lost in the mix if it goes on Raw. That's the only reason why I do not want Sami Zayn to win, because when the Intercontinental Championship was on SmackDown, it was a big deal. Hell, it was even, for me, and I think you said it too, Brian, and I don't know about anyone else, it was actually the main storyline of SmackDown that was actually really good, that you were 100% invested in.
Dolph Ziggler put his career on the line so he could hold that belt. And that's all you need to know. And man, you're not going to get that on Raw.
It's just upsetting for was that his first defense as champion?
I don't think it was.
I think it was, because then that was his first defense as champion. And then, of course, he loses it. Granted, it's a dirty victory, but it's still the simple fact that he lost. And now it's just because Miz being the company guy, he's going to just be nothing more than a transitional champion for a matter of days. What happened to WWE wanting to have lengthy title reigns? I guess it's understandable they want to have a heel versus face in this match, but I felt like that the fact that it's a Raw versus SmackDown match and it's because the title will jump ship whoever wins it. I think that was more than a storyline enough. It didn't need to have a heel versus face. Like I said, I love The Miz, and I love what they're doing with him. He's in his best run since they teamed him up with his wife. But he didn't need to win the Intercontinental Championship back, and it's just because it's for transitional purposes. He's gonna lose it. Granted, no matter who wins in this match, I think the IC title will go to Raw just because Miz and Daniel Bryan. But I kind of prefer it just to go to Sami Zayn. But yeah, that's kind of I guess I'm going to step off the soapbox here with my little rant.
Well, when it's the Intercontinental title, expect rants from Scholar Tori.
Hey,
well, we know this.
It's not just a rant of a fanboy. I actually do have a lot to back up with this.
Oh yeah,
I actually do have reasons to be mad other than just the ramblings of a fanboy.
Yeah, and that's understandable.
I see that you like that. you like that.
The ramblings of a fanboy. That's.
That sounds like someone's blog somewhere.
Yeah.
Anywho, I can't say I disagree with you though, but I am relatively hopeful that if they are going to pull a switcheroo on some of these titles, then I'm inclined to believe that there probably is a plan in place of some sort.
The only plan I hope is that they merge the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title.
I'm wondering if maybe that might be the case.
Especially with Roman Reigns supposedly going after Kevin Owens next. So why would he... If you're gonna go for the World Heavyweight title, just
let them pull a Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
being a double champion, we don't want that shit.
It was fine with Seth Rollins because he only held it for a minute, but he only held
a month.
Yeah,
it was a month.
It was a month, but it was fine because it was Seth Rollins. We don't want that.
He's with
Roman Reigns.
He's more of a charismatic. He's a better choice to be the top face, the updated John Cena. But I've said that before.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we're going to be revisiting that one in the future anyway. But
we talked about it before. It's definitely going to come back up again.
In the meantime, the next one of our little title matches for the evening, we have the Brian Kendrick versus Kalisto for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Going on my storyline theory, because Mick Foley put this little match together.
Did he? Really? He did? He's the one that put this match together?
Did you not watch the promo?
I must have missed it.
He put either he accepted the challenge without Stephanie's approval.
Oh, okay.
Or that's where I was going with it.
All right, because I don't remember this how this match was put together.
But he accepted the challenge. So everything that Mick Foley touches is going to go to shit at Survivor Series. So Kalisto wins the Cruiserweight title, goes to where it should have been in the first place on SmackDown.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of backstepping here. Wasn't Sami Zayn Mick Foley's first choice to be the Intercontinental contender?
First choice,
and then Stephanie didn't want that to happen, so she put in Rusev.
Stephanie didn't want it to happen, but she's the one.
But she said, "I'm going to have you earn it," because I feel that Rusev is a better candidate.
Exactly. So he earned it on Stephanie's watch.
Okay. But yeah, I'm seconding that just because really the whole title switches and the fact that the new Cruiserweight 205 hour, whatever the hell, what is it called? 205
Live, something
205 Live. Just because that's going to SmackDown, or it's going to be recorded on SmackDown, it's clear as day that the Cruiserweight division is going on to SmackDown, and I think it actually is a better choice. Hell, I made it clear multiple times on this show that it should have been on SmackDown. Exactly.
Yeah, and I think this one is one of the fairly obvious choices of the evening.
And the moment that this match was signed was also the moment where I was like, hey, Sami Zayn could win the Intercontinental title.
There you go. There is always a plus side. So anyway, let's get right into the Survivor Series matches of the Survivor Series pay-per-view. First off, we've got a
10-man, 5 teams.
10 men on each side.
10 men on each side, yeah.
A 20-man tag team elimination Survivor Series match. Holy crud, that was a mouthful.
Well, they're obviously if one person gets pinned, the whole team is eliminated.
Yes.
I'm wondering though, are they really going to do that?
They've done that before.
They have done it.
That.
They've done it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's run down the match real quick. Team Raw, we've got the New Day, Sheamus, Cesaro, the Club, Enzo and Cass, and the Shining Stars versus the Team Smackdown of Heath Slater, Rhino, the Hype Bros, American Alpha, the Usos, and Breezango.
Let's face it, that Team Raw team is stacked. So, and any team with the New Day on it automatically wins. So Team Raw is taking the tag team Survivor Series match.
All right, Fool, who do you got?
Honestly, this is the of the 3 Survivor Series matches. This one's actually the hardest for me.
This was the easiest for me.
Because yes, the Raw team is stacked, absolutely. But there's also the simple fact of who's also on the SmackDown, and they want to be high on American Alpha.
So American Alpha will probably take out a few teams for Raw, but the New Day, man, I just can't.
Like I said, this is the hardest one, but how I'm thinking about how this is going to go storyline wise, I think it's going to be quite a dominant side for Raw. So I'm going to go with Team Raw on this one. Even though, like this, like I said, this one was the hardest because I'm trying to think. Will this go like how they want to book this? Do they want this to be a 50-50 thing for Raw and SmackDown to each have different wins? Or do they want to have like, oh, it's going to be a clean sweep victory and then one team one loses and all that? Probably just because they didn't really focus on this Survivor Series match all week. Really, it's been the other 2 Survivor Series matches that had a lot of focus.
Yeah.
But there's also the fact with the Club being a part of it. I could see the Club just saying, having the last 2 teams, which I'm actually going to throw an idea with you guys after Jeff makes his prediction. Like, I could see the Club also preventing Enzo and Cass getting like the final 3 team, or Enzo and Cass and American Alpha are the last teams, and the Club just costs Enzo and Cass the win because they don't give a shit. They don't care about this match. They just...
I can see that happening, and that I'm going to go Team Raw just because this could go either way depending on who they really feel like pushing. Like, if Team SmackDown were to win, I would want to say that it would have to be American Alpha either going over, or it's literally like, I need this job, I have kids, blah, 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 bloop, bloop, in above ground pool. So yeah.
An above ground pool. I'm sorry, that's just me.
By the way, on a side note, have you noticed that the stage entrance when they actually comes out is an above ground pool?
Really?
Yeah. When they walk out,
I guess I just don't pay attention.
Yeah, someone actually had to point it out to me, but
WWE is booking them right now. Any team with the New Day on it wins. Mm-hmm. That's it.
And now I have to pull out the question that's only specifically for this show. Kind of, I guess it could be a Scholars Quick Talk, but it's for each match. Who are the survivors? Who do you see being the survivors?
The New Day.
I'm gonna say the New Day and Enzo and Cass.
I don't know, because I think the club takes Enzo and Cass out with them.
I'm gonna say the New Day and Sheamus and Cesaro.
Actually, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna say the Shining Stars.
Shut up.
Shining Stars go out first. That's it. They better.
These will be extra points for our prediction game.
I think the New Day and.
Okay, how about this? If we're gonna do this, how about we pick one team?
No, just because there's always more likely there's going to be more than one survivor. And we've all picked the New Day.
Out of what we've picked so far, I would definitely go with Torix.
Okay.
The New Day and Sheamus and Cesaro. I think Enzo and Cass get taken out because of the club.
Okay, so you are going... Brian, you are going New Day, Sheamus, and Cesaro.
New Day, Sheamus, and Cesaro.
And you're echoing that. Okay.
Well, he's echoing me.
Yeah.
Don't give him all the glory.
It's not that I'm giving them the glory. It's I'm having trouble keeping track. I am confuzzled. But anyway, let's move on to our second Survivor Series match of the night. We are looking at the women's Survivor Series match. We are looking at Team Raw. We have Charlotte, Bayley, Nia Jax, Alicia Fox, and Sasha Banks versus the Smackdown team of Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, and Naomi.
This one's an easy one for me. I'm just gonna simply say, with how I went with the tag team match, I'm gonna go with my other idea with two winning two matches, and the third one is this. I'm going with Team Raw for one reason: Charlotte.
See, I'm going with Team Raw for a different reason.
I'm going because Vince McMahon's new high right now is keeping Charlotte's undefeated streak on pay-per-views alive.
Has that been confirmed? I know it's been mentioned.
Oh, he's all go for it.
This was hard for me.
That's the main reason why he changed the results for the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view. He didn't want to break Charlotte's undefeated record because he wants a new undefeated record since Undertaker's WrestleMania streak is over. And because Charlotte is getting so much publicity, going for what is it now, a year now that she's been on the main roster, he wants to keep this going. So I'm gonna pick Team Raw, and I'm gonna pick Charlotte being the lone survivor.
See, it's different for me because I'm gonna pick Team Raw too, for a different reason. Which one of those divas on the SmackDown side can take out Nia Jax?
I would normally say none, but because of storyline purposes, Nikki Bella.
I am saying,
like I said, storyline.
I'm saying that
but in reality,
Team Raw will win. Charlotte and Nia Jax are the lone survivors. Because I just don't see anybody, not even Nikki Bella. Like, I can see her trying.
Oh, I see Nia Jax getting out by disqualification.
Yeah,
I see her going total apeshit crazy. And then the referee will disqualify her.
I can see Charlotte surviving by not doing anything, just having Nia Jax just destroy. That's it. I can see that as how, like, it comes down to, like, SmackDown takes out like three of the Raw Divas, and they're at a disadvantage, and it's just Charlotte and Nia Jax. And Nia Jax just comes in beasts. I can see Nia Jax taking out everybody. And Charlotte just sits there and does nothing and keeps her undefeated streak.
Okay.
I can see that. So I'm going with, for your question that's going to come afterwards, just mark me down for Charlotte and Nia Jax.
Oh, no. I pretty much said it. You can now, when you post your prediction, just pick who you're going to beat, who are the survivors. So that's what I did. That's what you just did. So
okay.
There you go.
As for me, again, I feel like I definitely had to rethink this one after hearing both your guys' predictions and your rationale for it. I'm going to go with Team Raw also. However, in terms of sole survivors or survivors, however many are left, I'm going to go with Charlotte and Sasha being the sole survivors. Again, I can see them pulling some sort of shenanigans to deal with Nia. I was sort of going back and forth with the idea of having the sole survivors being on the Raw side Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley, with Becky Lynch being the last person to be eliminated, sort of alluding to a 4 horsewomen type of deal. But then I'm just not confident enough that they would leave that many people still alive on a Survivor Series team. So as far as still survivors,
when DX isn't involved.
Yeah, I know. I was there for that one.
Yeah, I was there for that one too.
Yeah,
we went. Yeah,
yeah, and even then, it was just like, as much as I liked that match and that show, I just don't see it happening again. Not for this team.
Yeah. A clean sweep, you mean?
Yeah, no, I don't see a clean sweep happening.
I don't want to see a clean sweep happening. Not on a Raw versus SmackDown.
Clean sweeps
Series.
are boring.
That's some and that's some bullshit.
Who are they facing?
They were Edge, Randy Orton,
Eminem.
Because I know it was the Hardy Boys, CM Punk, DX, and RVD.
Who was CM Punk? It was a 5.
I'm pretty sure it was a 6.
I'm pretty sure it was a 5. But
I
who was CM Punk feuding with?
No, he was in the Survivor Series match.
I know. Who was CM Punk feuding with for the heel team?
Oh boy, I don't remember.
Because you had DX, Edge, and Randy Orton. You had the Hardys and Eminem, and you had CM Punk and Randall. That's it. I don't remember. But yeah, that was the only time where I was okay with a sweep. And when it's Raw versus SmackDown, you can't sweep. You can't. It's bullshit if you do.
Yeah,
because that just means
the only sweeping that can be accepted is a chimney sweep.
Waka.
Waka, waka, waka.
Anywho, that brings us to our last Survivor Series match of the evening. Let's see here. We have turn the page.
Wash your hands.
Turn the page, wash your hands. We have on Team Raw the team of Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Seth Rollins versus Team SmackDown of AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, and Shane O'Mac. And also James Ellsworth is going to be in their corner.
And you know he hit with something. Braun Strowman's probably going to annihilate him. That's it. But here's going back to storyline. Okay. It basically goes back to what Shane, and it basically goes back to Monday night. Okay. Where SmackDown showed up. Okay, and even though they have problems with each other, they were completely united in that ring. Even though they did get Dean Ambrose was laughing at what AJ Styles was saying to Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho.
Sugar tits, come on.
Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton were doing their thing and whatever, and it goes back to, this is going to become a power struggle. It's the power struggle between Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon is going to become real after Survivor Series when their team loses the big final match. Yeah, I'm going Team SmackDown, and I'm going AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose as the sole survivors. Basically because Braun's gonna...
AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose?
AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose. I can see Braun, Bray, and Orton taking each other out. Whatever. And I think Shane McMahon's gonna have a bigger part in this match than he ever has in a Survivor Series match, because he was in the one with the Alliance, and I think he was taken out first.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's gonna come down to AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, and Shane McMahon against the 4, and the 4 are gonna turn against each other. I could see a little bit of a Shield reunion happening.
You know they're gonna play with that.
I can see Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and I don't know who it's going to be. I bet you it's going to be Jericho taking a complete Shield powerbomb to eliminate him. And then some shenanigans happen so that Reigns and Rollins go out. But I think that AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose will beat Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens will be the last one standing for his team, the last one to go out.
Because he's the champion.
Because he's the champion. And AJ and Dean put away their differences, put aside their differences for one night to prove that Team SmackDown is more united. Because that's the storyline going in. Team SmackDown, despite their differences, they're united. Team Raw, not so much. They might act it, but you know that's going to explode during the match. And that's why Team SmackDown wins.
What do you got, fool?
Honestly, just looking at the way we're predicting that this is going to go, I'm going to have to go Team SmackDown also. As far as who the sole survivor is going to be, boy, this is.
I'll say this right now:
really
AJ Styles has to survive. That's it.
Yeah, honestly, the only one I'm fully confident in is just AJ Styles, and that's where it ends for me. I think it's probably just gonna come down to him, and he's just gonna be the sole survivor. At least that's the one I'm most confident in. There's enough.
Yeah,
there's enough scenarios I can see as being plausible, but as for me, this is the only one I'm like remotely confident in at all.
I think this is going to be the first event where we agree on every single match.
I know this is looking crazy right now.
So
I really want to be more controversial about it, but like,
you're
is just
SmackDown also.
Yeah, I'm Team SmackDown with this one, just for the one thing, just how it's old school booking. Raw looked dominant at the closing segment of Raw.
And Team SmackDown has the Undertaker's backing.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's storylines for after if they lose and the Undertaker goes after them all. But I don't think they do, and they're setting up something different.
I guess the only real difference is how just really the survivors go. That's really all the points are going to go on. And I'm actually going to second Jeff with this one. I'm going to pick AJ being the only survivor because I can see him going on now saying how awesome he is again, the face that runs the place, the champ that runs the camp.
Yeah, I can see it too. I'm going to stick with mine because I want it, but it's probably just going to be AJ. Being completely honest, but I'm going to stick with mine.
But I'm actually going to go different with who's going to be eliminated last. For
Roman Reigns.
Actually, I'm going to pick Seth Rollins being the last guy eliminated. Huh. I see actually Kevin Owens being eliminated third to last. Or let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I guess it's
so you see Reigns and Rollins.
Rollins being the last one in, the last ones in, and I see Kevin Owens actually costing Roman Reigns him being involved. I think Kevin Owens is going to be the one. Yeah, Kevin Owens is going to be the reason Roman Reigns gets eliminated. Cause
is Chris Jericho going to be the reason why Seth Rollins gets eliminated?
That's actually a good question because I actually didn't even think about that.
Because the setup for the next Raw pay-per-view is Owens and Reigns and Rollins versus Jericho.
That's actually a really good question, but
I think it's better if AJ wins clean.
I think I'm going to guess no. I'm going to say no that Jericho gets involved, but I am going to say Seth Rollins is going to get distracted because I'm going to say James Ellsworth is going to be the reason Dean Ambrose gets eliminated. Not by accidental purposes. And because of the whole situation, Seth Rollins is going to get distracted by it, and that gives AJ an opportunity to take advantage and beat Seth Rollins. And he's going to be the lone survivor.
Yeah, this one's definitely going to be very interesting. Just to see all the dynamics at play here. This one's going to be a fun one. And now that brings us to our last, presumably main event of the evening: Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. Gentlemen, who do you got?
You first.
God damn it.
Because, yeah,
This one's going to be a tough one, isn't it?
I was going to say Goldberg. However, with the news that has come out over this week that his body is having a hard time handling it, he popped his shoulder out on Raw, just doing the minor actions that he did on Raw.
Well, that's what you get when you don't train to get back in the ring.
Yeah.
Seriously, he refused to do it.
Yeah, I'm going Brock Lesnar. I'm going Brock Lesnar on principle because Brock Lesnar looks like he can actually do it.
I'm going to say Brock Lesnar also just because it sort of evens the playing
and it
field.
also gets his win back.
It gives him his win back. And personally, just all this talk of Brock Lesnar, your last. Yeah. Either way, if he's retiring and Brock is presumably going to stick around for a little while longer, I can. That's just what I see happening. I wish it wasn't the case. I want to see Goldberg win for old time's sake, but at this current moment, I'm not 100% convinced yet.
The dude's body can't handle it anymore. He shouldn't. And the way that they're treating Brock right now, okay, as much as I love the fact that they had Goldberg come back, are they really going to bring someone back just to beat Brock Lesnar and leave?
Stranger things have happened.
I would hate that. As much as I'm a Goldberg mark, I would hate that. Someone beating Brock Lesnar should, at this point, it shouldn't be a returnee who's only coming back for one match. If he's coming back for a few months into WrestleMania, sure. Whatever, have him win. But if he's only coming back for one match, no. No, give it to Brock Lesnar, have him continue his dominant streak until someone can come and beat him. Finn Balor, maybe.
This is actually this was the hardest match to decide, because I looked at so many different scenarios that can go with this match, and the match is not going to go very long.
Yeah, I made my pick.
Even if Goldberg was at 100%, the match was not going to go long.
I made this pick based on the news that came out on yesterday, that about Goldberg and the way his body was reacting to what he was doing. So at that point, I was like, it's gonna be quick. Goldberg's gonna get his moves out. I could see Brock Lesnar kicking out of the jackhammer if they want to. If they want Brock Lesnar to continue with the Beast kicking out of the spear and the jackhammer, and then Brock Lesnar hitting the F5.
Fool.
Like I said, I'm still at a toss-up. But the whole Goldberg thing makes it not as challenging as the decision should be. But I'm also looking at storyline scenarios that they want to have Shane McMahon face Brock Lesnar. So I could see Shane McMahon costing Brock Lesnar the match and giving Goldberg the win. But
I would agree with that if he wasn't in a match on the card.
Yeah, exactly. And there's the fact that the match just might not happen. Like I could see it. I could see them somewhat pulling similar to a Randy Orton, but the match the bell never rings and that happens, continuing Brock Lesnar's dominance. But as much as I'm really, really, really getting tired at this, holy shit, it really is going to be a whole first pay-per-view where all of us pick the same predictions.
Brock?
I'm going with Brock. Trust me. I actually kind of want Goldberg to be the one guy Brock Lesnar, the one guy Brock Lesnar can't beat.
It's emotionally, I want Goldberg.
But it really is, seconding what Brian said, it really is that moment when the news came out that he popped his shoulder doing simple moves to security guards.
But then again, a similar thing did happen with Sami Zayn, and he's in pretty decent health. So I don't know. This could go either way.
The difference between
and he's actually said that his body isn't reacting well at all. Not just the shoulder; it's everything.
Because also remember, Sami Zayn is in his youth. He's still in prime condition. Goldberg is what, in his early 50s?
Something like that.
Late 40s, early 50s. Like, he came back for a one-off.
The real difference with someone like Undertaker and Goldberg, Undertaker's still keeping in shape wrestling wise. Goldberg didn't really do much.
Like, Goldberg looks good, but you can tell.
Well, he was also gigantic in WCW.
Yeah, but
and it's also that simple fact that it's still looking back on a WCW guy beating a quote WWE guy. Vince McMahon has an ego. Why do you think Sting didn't win against Triple H at WrestleMania?
Yeah, and it's also going back to the Goldberg won. Goldberg has won already.
Exactly.
I feel like this is something to get Lesnar's win back.
Will I be happy if Goldberg somehow miraculously wins? Yes. But when it comes to the predictions, I'm just gonna stick with Brock.
The heart wants Goldberg. The head says Brock.
The head says Brock, but it's a reluctant because
it's a reluctant Brock.
It's a reluctant Brock, mainly because of the fact that I am getting really tired of Brock Lesnar. I'm sick of this. I'm tired of Suplex City. His matches are so repetitive. It's not a fact of
when it came out from Dean Ambrose that Dean Ambrose wanted to do a lot of things in that WrestleMania match, and Brock Lesnar was like, "No, I don't want to do that."
It's just
that tells me a lot.
Exactly. I'm hoping for the day somebody comes in to knock Brock Lesnar off this mantle.
Because when he was having the long, triple threat matches with Seth Rollins and Cena and with Reigns, where it was, back and forth, that was fine. But ever since then, it's been him just beating the piss out of everybody he's coming across. And I'm like, oh, we did this already. Can we get back to what you were doing last year? Instead of with what you did to Cena? What you did to Cena was good once. Okay, but when you're doing it every single time, the same way.
Seriously, when people are getting so thrilled with counting how many suplexes he can do in one match, I'm like, really? That's the thing you're now looking forward to when it comes to a Brock Lesnar match? How many suplexes he can do, or German suplex, or any kind of suplex?
Yeah. Remember when he had a moveset?
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I kind of wish Kurt Angle came back and was actually in prime condition.
Yeah, give me Kurt Angle versus Lesnar again. Those were awesome.
Because, a man who can actually wrestle in, MMA and classic wrestling format that Brock Lesnar is so comfortable with nowadays.
Shooting star press.
Minus that. But yeah, I'm tired of Brock. I'm tired of Brock.
He's got to lose by WrestleMania to an established to a talent that's actually there.
That's the only time where I can really accept a loss. Looks like they can only accept a loss. He's
shooting star press.
Why are you walking all the way over there for that?
For comedic effect.
Because he's Jack.
Okay, but yeah, I guess from what it looks like, it has to depend on the Survivor picks. Who really wins
who wins the day?
Who wins the Survivor Series Scholars Prediction
I already know I'm going to lose because Dean's not surviving. I know that.
Why'd you pick him?
Because I want
principle.
It's emotional.
It's a principle.
All right.
It's for his pride. He originally went with it. He heard what we had to say. He's like, damn it. It's back to the rules. Okay, once we make the decision, I don't know why it came out that way.
I don't know either.
Whoever makes it, once we finalize our decision, no more changing our minds midway.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like for the women's match. I wanted to go Team Smackdown. It's one of those emotional Team Smackdown. Head, Team Raw. head for me says you're not gonna see Nia Jax get eliminated. That's my head going. That's my head. Like who?
My head. I see her getting eliminated.
Who and how?
But just the simple fact that she gets herself eliminated, similar to how Undertaker got eliminated his first Survivor Series. He got counted out.
Yeah. The only way
it's either a disqualification or counted out. That's the only way I could see Nia Jax getting eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I see her getting eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see her being an act like a full-on survivor. Will I be shocked if she's a survivor? No. Because it's a Samoan thing that Vince McMahon suddenly has. Plus, she's related to The Rock.
Which is another reason why I said she was going to survive. She's Samoan. She's related to The Rock. It's 20 years.
And she's not like most girls.
And she's not.
That is such a ridiculous.
You were setting
song.
me up for it. I had to.
You really were setting him up for that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's Survivor Series in a nutshell. You've already heard what we think. So now, give us some feedback. Leave us a comment. Leave us a like. Subscribe if you want to hear more in your face. You can also leave us a comment on our Facebook page at the Scholars of Wrestling Show. And of course, you can also follow us on our personal Twitter accounts. Follow us on our main Twitter account at ScholarsOW for all the latest episode updates and uploads and all that good stuff. And you can also follow us on our personal accounts for live tweeting during all the major big pay-per-view events and Raws and Smackdowns. Fool, where can I reach you at?
You can find me at The Avataric.
And Brian?
You can find me at Atomic Beanpole.
And I'm Robbie Rage. All one word. No apostrophe. I'm Robbie Rage, all one word. Boom. Follow us. Join the conversation. It's a great time. Interactivity is cool.
Indeed.
Brian, you look like you have something more to say? No?
No, he's good.
We're good? All right. In any case, you know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
Spotlight!
Had a dream I made it here at Spotlight!